Welcome back! We have found this swamp on the Isle of Wonder, which, like most everything else here, is filled with ponds. There's some plants growing next to the swamp here. They look like cattails.
A cluster of cattails flourishes near the muck of the swamp.
Can we pick them?
Alexander decides to pet the soft-looking cattails. Zounds, what a racket! So much for stirring up those cattails.
Okay, I guess we'd better leave them alone then. This place is weird. There's also another strange-looking plant underneath the dogwood tree.
Milkweed thrives near the mucky swamp. Small bottles filled with milk grow on it like fruit.
What, including the bottles? Now that is weird.
Alexander takes a bottle of milk from the milkweed bush. Apparently, the dogwood tree doesn't like Alexander standing that close.
Oh well, he doesn't scare me. Because his bark is worse than his bite, remember? He's actually not dangerous, he just makes a noise when you get close. Okay, nothing else in the swamp, I believe. So, let's move on. Ah, the garden. Which, according to the guidebook, was actually also used by King Calaphim and Queen Alaria as a place to rest. I guess they must like weird puns then, because this garden has even more of them than any other place on this island. Let's take a look.
Alexander is standing in a delectable garden. Nestled in the bright green grass are colorful plants growing in orderly clusters. Some of their curious faces peer up at Alexander from the sides of the path. The garden ends at a speckled gate. A pretty stone path leads north to a colorful gate and south to the oozy swamp.
Personally, I prefer fruit and vegetables that cannot talk back, but I guess we have to take what we can get.
Unless Alexander is mistaken, those plants must be baby's tears.
That's not what baby's tears look like. Then again, I'm probably thinking into normal terms for this game.
Hello. Aren't you a bunch of fine-looking young plants?
Apparently, the baby's tears haven't learned to talk yet.
Well, so much for that idea. How about the tomatoes?
Vines of sweet ripening tomatoes climb up little wooden posts.
They look pretty cheerful.
Good day, tomato vines.
Good morning.
Yep, they're pretty cheerful, except for that one down there. He doesn't look so cheerful.
Alexander takes a close look at the tomato in the ground. It appears to be darker than those on the vines.
What are you staring at there, boy? Go away, you rootless thing, you! Yeah!
Yep, that tomato is definitely rotten.
It's Rotten Tomato! I love Rotten Tomato. He's great.
How did you manage to fall off the vine, Mr. Tomato?
What do you think? I'm old, I'm rotten! Yeah! Leave me alone!
If you say so.
After all, you're just gonna let me sit here and rot on this dry ground like everybody else, aren't you?
Why, I don't know. I suppose...
Ah, never mind! Just go away! Ah!
You're really, not so bad, aren't you? You just like putting up a big mouth. I'm sure.
Rotten Tomato is rather put out with Alexander and won't pay attention to anything he says.
Well, he doesn't seem to be, doesn't seem to want to be left on the ground here, so let's, take him with us, I guess.
What do you think you're doing there? Get your hands off me! Hey!
Alexander picks up Rotten Tomato and puts him away. One never knows when one will need a rotten tomato.
Maybe if we visit a really bad variety show or something. Also, that tomato was as big as Alexander's head, even bigger even. So how are we taking it with us? Well, I guess it's a little late to start worrying about that. Can we take one of the nice tomatoes?
Those tomatoes are not quite ripe yet, and Alexander shouldn't pull them off the vine.
Too bad. I'm sure they would be nicer to carry around than a rotten tomato. You might have been wondering why there's a talk icon in the inventory. You can actually talk to Rotten Tomato.
Where were you born? A barn? It's a pigsty back here. Yeah! All this stuff you got. What do you want to carry all this trash around for?
For some reason the lip syncing doesn't really work for Rotten Tomato in the inventory, but he does have some interesting things to say.
What do you want from me? A recitation or something? Leave me alone. Yeah! You're ugly and you smell bad. Yeah! Put me down before I juice all over you.
What a threat.
You're ugly and you smell bad. Yeah! Put me down before I...
Okay. Let's not talk to him. There's other stuff in this garden.
Is that lettuce growing in the garden? It looks a little chilled. Why, it must be iceberg lettuce.
Right.
Alexander picks a head of iceberg lettuce.
Ye gads! Is that cold?
Ye gads? Don't you mean zounds? It's literally frozen.
Alexander is carrying a full head of a queer-looking lettuce made of ice. The lettuce is rapidly melting.
Indeed, if you carry it around for too long, it will melt into nothingness. We'll see what happens. There's a table.
To the right of the path is a little coffee table.
Guess it's used by people one day picnic here or something. What are these things?
A colorful array of snapdragons stand guard to one side of the path.
Do they have anything to say?
Good day, snapdragons.
The snapdragons don't seem inclined to communicate with anyone.
Seems like it. They're also moving really quickly. I think they're one of the things that it's not actually absolutely timed. And therefore will differ depending on the speed of your computer. Or in my case, the speed you've set DOSBox to. And a chair.
An elegant padded chair provides a cushy seat from which to enjoy the lively garden.
Wouldn't a lawn chair be better?
Alexander would love to sit a spell, but he's a tad busy at the moment.
We had no trouble pausing to sit down in the bookshop. What's this thing?
There appears to be a hole in the garden wall.
A hole with arms and legs?
Through the hole in the wall, Alexander sees a land that resembles a giant chessboard. Wow, it really is a hole in the wall.
Yikes.
Zounds, those wallflowers sure are shy, and the snapdragons are awfully protective of them. Alexander can't even get close to the wallflowers without causing quite a stir.
Indeed. Yet, a hole in the wall, a portable hole in the wall at that, could be quite useful.
Alexander decides to pick up the hole in the wall. A hole in the wall could be a very useful thing.
Yeek.
Alexander startled the poor thing. It's run off to hide behind the wallflowers.
That's annoying. Come here, you.
The wallflowers, overcome with shyness at Alexander's approach, cluster together and cover the hole in the wall. Alexander can't get it.
That's annoying. Let's take a look at these wallflowers.
The wallflowers look terribly shy.
I guess that's why they're wallflowers.
Greetings, ladies. How charming you look today.
The wallflowers are too shy to talk to Alexander.
Don't you usually find wallflowers at a dance rather than in a garden? But then I guess there is no music here for them to dance to. One plant left here on the left.
Those grapes look awfully sour.
Two actually. The sour grapes. And this.
Clinging vines climb the garden wall.
The clinging vines. Let's see.
What curious clinging vines are on this wall?
We know we're fascinating, but no one ever visits us. We're lonely.
That's too bad.
We just want to be liked. We just want to be hugged. We've been clinging to this wall, but he's gotten boring.
I see. Perhaps you should find a new place.
Don't be stupid. We're clinging vines, not particularly mobile.
No, I don't suppose so. Well, good luck.
Ah, poor things. They just want a hug.
Alexander decides to examine the vines on the wall more closely.
Come closer. We like you.
I, appreciate your enthusiasm. But I'm really not interested.
Don't leave us. We like you.
Tickets out. Next.
Just want to be loved by you.
Yeah, well, they do say love hurts, but this is a bit too much. How about the sour grapes? Do you have anything to say?
Alexander addresses the grapes.
Why are you so sour, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, we'll tell you. How would you like to have the possibility of being made into wine hanging over your head? And then there's our neighbors, the clinging vines. All they do all day is whine about the Ivy League social climbers that never call. It's really just no fun at all.
That's too bad. Well, I hope things start looking up.
Thanks a lot.
Nobody ever thinks about the well-being of the grapes when they drink wine.
Alexander gets closer to the sour grapes.
Not sure if that's gonna end well.
Back off, bucko!
Oh, excuse me.
Better leave them alone then, and we'll continue in the next video.